want you to ask yourself, are you mature? Honestly, truly, how do you feel? Because when I asked myself this question, I started to realize how fucking vague that term is and how little is like mentioned on YouTube about this topic that isn't like, get up at 4 a.m. bro, first inject that needle bro, gang, it's only trim. And as I go through these ideas, I'd love if you could just apply some of this to yourself to get a better idea of how mature you are. After a while of thinking, I realized there are two ways to gain maturity: experience and internal thought. Now, you need both to be a human being, but for the sake of YouTube, I'm gonna just isolate one of them. So, gaining maturity from thinking. Where can this happen? For example, let's say you had an argument with someone. After it, alone, you can display what I call analytical maturity. You can go through the events in your head and debate, was I wrong? Now let's say you were wrong. Taking that accountability and changing yourself even that little bit to become a better person is an example of analytical maturity. You did a bad action, reflected upon it, and after the fact, changed yourself for the better. But how about raw experiences making you more mature? Let's go through an example. Let's say you're trading Pokemon cards with your friend, and your dumb ass trades a flaming, shiny, expensive, beautiful Charizard for a boring ass Wooper, alright? Now, you're a fucking idiot. But your friend is also a scam artist and what I call a rat. So, you realize that maybe you shouldn't trade your best player. So you adjust in that moment to not do it again. And to also not only trust that rat. To not only trust that rat a little bit less, but be more wary of people when trading your Charizard, you know? That is an example of immediate maturity. You basically instantly realize you fucked up and tried to never do it again. In that moment, you realized that you fucked up. Now I want you to ask yourself, who do you fit in more with? The people who have less raw experiences but reflect on the few and mature within themselves? Or someone who lives more hands-on, tries to not get in their head and learns through visible growing pains? I just want to say, there ain't a right answer to this, and also, you're probably not either of these, but probably somewhere in the middle, which is where you'll find the answer of what maturity really is, a spectrum. Now, to be honest, I wanted something a bit more profound than this. Better than well, it's a spectrum. But I mean, that's truly what it is. But that does not mean that it is two-dimensional. Someone who leans more into hands-on experience compared to someone who thinks in retrospect will be different. While technically, on paper, they are the same level of maturity, it is subjective which one of these people is actually more mature. The only way to guess is, do you think they are more mature, yes or no? It's a very difficult question to answer. And from here, I realized there's about 10,000 rabbit holes, like, are psychopaths mature? If someone's really good at hiding immaturity, is it still possible to guess? And does pinching and rolling make me less of a man? These are just some difficult questions I'm gonna leave you with. I hope y'all enjoyed. One view, and I'm gonna see how many fingers I can fit inside my